Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Goku and Final Form Frieza, the tag exchange unit, and their build, my build for them, and this is a new build for them because obviously, as most people hopefully know, they have received a unique equip. So Goku and Frieza are a tag reverse unit. Well, actually they're just a tag type unit. Tag reverse units, how it works, the unit will tag into another unit and then reverse type. So it's not quite the same as saying that they are the opposite type to them. They get a lot of the advantages but not so much for the negatives. Whereas Goku and Frieza are just distinctly two different types. For example, purple is countered by yellow, but blue is countered by green. Purple counters green, but blue is countered by, purple is countered by yellow, which, blue doesn't really counter. So it's not really like, that, how can I say, it's not really like they're directly saving each other. Goku, more often than not, is the one that people play as for two reasons, mainly right now especially, is Goku hard counters units that counter Frieza. Also hard countering units that counter UI Goku 17, lots of strong blues on the USS team. So Goku gets a lot of love, very much so. Frieza is pretty good, but often is just used as a revert tag mechanism to refresh the gauge, heal, etc. Something that's very important to take note, their big core mechanic that they introduced and that they still, at least I think to this day, are the only unit that do, if I'm remembering correctly, is they nullify Rising Rush. So while their gauge is up, their huge core mechanic is that they nullify Rising Rush. They, when they came out, got a buff. So they originally weren't so great. Their core mechanic was great, but they were very, very, very easily able to be shredded. They got a buff upon initial release, at least a short while afterwards. They looked good, overall. One thing I will say, at least for me, this plat helps, but I don't think it cements them as being super duper top tier. I think it helps. Like, I think this plat definitely helps. Like, the raw stats help, the big stat boost helps, the third slot passive effect basically makes them switch a lot faster. So the key component or key core mechanic that that third slot is doing is actually allowing you to switch faster. But like I just told you right now, switching faster is like not even the primary focal point for this unit. Like, it's actually not what you want them to do. Because most people are trying to stay in that purple form because obviously it's countering a lot of the greens that are throwing big weight behind UI and 17 and even Frieza himself. So that third slot piece of gear is definitely good. Of course, it's going to be fantastic, but there is considerations that maybe it's not helping as much as you wanted it to. When the meta shifts a bit from the heavy blues and green counters, which is probably what we're seeing right now, once they add in maybe one or two more of the anniversary units and they add in a couple, I want to say solid additions to kind of throw things off, I think for me personally, there will be a good movement. I think it'll be a very, very, very good movement, a good shifting in the meta for them, because then that switching to Frieza doesn't feel so punishing. Because like right now, if you look at my team, for example, and it's a good team, but if you look at my team, I have to replace probably 17 or them, because the team is just too blue focused. It's just too blue heavy. It's too massively orientated towards blue, and this is a problem. Like, this causes some really big counter issues. It causes some really big problems. It gives some really, I want to say, large scale issues that potentially could ultimately cause your team a big imbalance. And I think now that platinum kind of making you switch a bit faster doesn't feel so impactful, but it will be. It will be, because they do gain great effects when they are you know, pushing, or when they are kind of moving through those tags. Like, they do actually get some really good effects. And when you couple the fact that they do some decent stuff, like Goku's green card is very, very good. I like Goku's green card a lot. You know, Frieza's green card, really, really good. Frieza, some good blast damage. Goku, some good strike. Both some good special damage, which is like your main focal point, is that good kind of special damage, which I think is great. Yeah, I think that'll be really, really solid. Then, yeah, I think, look, listen, team right now, obviously USS has gotten a lot of love with them, with MUI and Vegeta. I think for them, that's really kind of their premium team right now. They've got Saiyan and Lineage of Evil. I don't see them on the Saiyan team. That's kind of more of a Maj and Vegeta-centric kind of team. And I think they don't really have a huge place on that. But you could functionally put them on any team, depending on how vulnerable you feel you are to the Rising Rush, or how big a deal you find the Rising Rush nullification. Listen, Rising Rush nullification is always going to be something that is very, 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 very powerful. It's very good, it's very powerful, it does a lot of great work. But it's not a mechanic that's, you know, like, how can I say it? It's a great mechanic, but it's not a mechanic that's going to make you unstoppable. It can very easily be worked around. They've improved it a lot. For example, they have key core mechanics now that, you know, allow them to pretty much jump in whenever the Rising Rush happens, and this plat helps with that again as well, like it really does. So, yeah, they're more reliable than not, but the gauge can run out, the timings can be off. Generally what you find is people will force you to sub out Goku Frieza, and then immediately set up a situation where they try to hit the Rising Rush. And usually in that 2 to 3 second timer count window, you know, you can struggle. So it just depends on how much they're pressurizing you. I think for me, personally, I think they're good. I think they're usable. I think they definitely are solid. I've been using them quite a bit with 17 and with Goku, and I think it's been working out pretty well. I think it's doing a really good job. I think it's functioning at a pretty high level as well, so that's definitely helped overall. But yeah, I do think, like, if I look at everything and I look at, you know, how much everything comes together, I do think personally I would probably say that Goku Frieza is not maybe top 5 or even top 10 probably in the game. I would say they're a top 20 unit right now. I think there's just better options for the UI team, the Universe Rep team, and I think that for them is their best team. So when there's a better option than you on your team, I think that's kind of a telltale sign that maybe maybe you're not operating at the top level. But still, either way, very fun unit, very cool to run everyone together. I think for me it was a good time, and personally, yeah, I do think that they're good. I just think that they have some clear mitigation that probably needs to be run. And I think if you look at them in general, I don't think that there is a clear role for them outside of the Rising Rush nullification still. They're an okay damage dealer. They're decently tanky in certain situations. Like, they can soak special damage quite nicely. But there isn't a huge, like, movement outside of that. So they do decent damage, they can soak special damage, and they've got a Rising Rush nullification. It's a good kit to have. It's not a abstractly unstoppable kit. So just one of those things where I think it's a bit of a high wire balancing act when you really look at the unit and the unit's performance. But with that being said, I still like them. Like if you've got them and you've got their plat, and you manage to pick up Goku or you pick up Vegeta, and you just need another good unit to round out that USS team, I think it's fine. I think it's really fine to run them. I think they will probably be replaced by Rev UI, or by Red UI, or even Ultra Goku probably replaces them, at least right now. But like I say, that could change. The more units that are introduced in the meta, the better they actually are because of that type switching. So the more diverse the typing becomes in the meta, the moment we get a strong red, for example, yeah, there's an option for these guys to come back into play. But yeah, it's really, really difficult, I think, right now to balance them, their playstyle, for minimal gain. When I say difficult, I think they work on the team. I think you could find a better alternative. Even like I say, Rev UI and units like that, they work more than fine, and they replace them pretty much, so, or will, depending on their Zenkai. So we'll just have to see. But I think pretty good stuff. And yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye.